Namaste. I'm gonna do uh, some things different today. I'll do the Kabbalah prayer and then do the Ashtanga yoga, the yoga exercise. So I just, I chant all day and all night, kinda. Not really. It's like three and a half hours during the day and 3.5 hours at night for now, which should be shortened to 2.5 hours or something like that, maybe a month from now. So it's 2.5 hours during the day, 2.5 hours at night. So yeah, I'm gonna do my daily Kabbalah prayer and then do Ashtanga yoga exercise. Yeah. Sorry, a lot going through my mind right now. I've said yesterday that I'm starting to realize that this is my channel, and that I should be able to, talk about whatever, or at least talk whenever I want, whatever I want. So I'm giving myself power to do that a little bit. And believe it or not, I am an introvert. Or I was an introvert. This is making me an extrovert. The more I do it, because you post the titles as say like Ashtanga yoga, and in it you're supposed to, in my mind it says you're just supposed to just do Ashtanga yoga. The thing is, I do it over and over and over and over again. I do the yoga exercise every 3 days. So if you're suffering, like me, and still wanna do yoga, you could still do it. You don't have to do it every day. I don't know what you've heard. Forget what you've heard. Every once every 3 days really works for me. I can't do even every other day right now. I used to do it every day for like 10 years, except during the full moon and the new moon. And the reason being, the full moon has a really, really high energy, and the new moon has the lowest energy. But I still do it during full moon or the new moon now, because the energy aspect of yoga doesn't matter to me anymore. I need to survive, and once again, everything that I do is for survival. I am not doing this I'm not doing this because I'm pious, or because I'm religious. I'm a Jewish Kabbalist, and that's before anything else. And I'm using the yoga system to heal myself. There's a lot of truth in it, which and times have changed, and I'm talking in Hindu terms. This is Kali Yuga. This is not Satya Yuga. This is not even Dvapara Yuga. This is Kali Yuga, and people who are in charge are not the people who were in charge in Satya Yuga. This is Kali Yuga, so you must know what age you're living in. I don't like talking about Kali that much, but Kali, it has a translation. I'll call them demon gods, because they're not just demons. Demons are different. Kali, the demon god, was confronted by what's his name, Bari Kushrit, and Bari Kushrit wanted to get rid of Kali, and Kali, sort of bowed down to Bari King. He was King Bari Kushrit, and said, "I apologize," and Bari Kushrit let him go, let Kali go. He was also aware, Bari Kushit was also aware that this is Kali Yuga, this is not Satya Yuga. So that's why I do the Kabbalah prayer, and I mix it with other religions, or right now it's Hinduism or yoga, the yoga system. I do have, I do have what Christians call idols, but I don't have time to use it. It's religion for men and men for religion, not man for religion. Sorry. So it's the reason why there are many reasons, but one reason why uh, the Old Testament uh, says you should not worship idols is because there's no time for it. It's heavy to carry around, and yeah, I'm not a. By the way, I'm not a good talker. Before I do my Kabbalah prayer ensures me that I will still be alive. If I don't do the daily Kabbalah prayer or the Sabbath Kabbalah prayer, I'm as good as dead, pretty much. So right now it's that man talking. But yeah, I just wanted to express my feelings because I feel that maybe some people don't approve of me mixing, Judaism with another religion. Well, as a Kabbalist, I have the privilege of utilizing all the other religions to my advantage. Which means if it works for me, I have the right to use it. Because guess what? God is in every one of us, and there's a God in me, and that God is not limited at all. You want to limit your own God, that's your prerogative, but like I said, I'm doing this for my survival. If you could hear me talking, it's not because I can't speak English, it's because I can't even breathe properly anyway. So yeah, let me do the incense thing. I'm probably gonna end up being more. It's gonna be a little awkward, for a little while, because I'm starting to be myself on my stream on my own channel. Which I didn't know that before. When you're working for the film industry, you listen to the directors, and you do what they say, and this doesn't seem to be that case. So, and by doing that, I'm also making myself from an introvert to an extrovert, I think. But yeah, let me. There will be no more delay. Nicotine. And in case you're wondering, the Sanskrit you hear from me is different from probably pretty much all the other Sanskrit you've heard. It's because I'm speaking Sanskrit from 5,000 years ago. Let me remind you that Sanskrit was an Indo-European language. Indo-Europeans used to speak it 5,000 years ago, and it sounded like a little more like French than at least it sounded European. It didn't sound like what it sounds now. I'll even say that Hindi is a bastardized version of Sanskrit. There's a difference between na and na, and da and da and da. It's not Krishna. That's not even a word. It's Krishna, and the tongue should touch the roof of the mouth when you say na. And same thing with da. Da is a different word than da. but nobody differentiates it anymore, and that's not Sanskrit. The Sanskrit that I speak is from 5,000 years ago. It's been lost for at least 500 years or 2,500 years. Krishna, who is a primary representation of Vishnu, passed away 5,000 years ago. That was the beginning of the decline of Sanskrit. Buddha, who was the direct incarnation of Brahma, passed away about 2,500 years ago, and that was the real decline. That was when Sanskrit started disappearing. And you could tell by looking at Buddhita Charita, which translates into the life of Buddha. And the Sanskrit cuts off. It has like 28 chapters or something like that. Haven't really read it recently. But like in chapter 11, the Sanskrit cuts off, and it signifies that it didn't happen accidentally. It was predetermined. So 2,500 years ago, Sanskrit started disappearing. Shri Chaitanya is Chaitanya in English, who promulgated the Hare Krishna movement 500 years ago in India. I believe he spoke Sanskrit perfectly. That's why he was really popular. Because people, when they hear real Sanskrit, and if you're like into the Sanatana Dharma, that's another term for Hindu. If you're, you would just, you'll be surprised, you'll be, enlightened. Sorry, I'm not talking very well because I haven't done my Kabbalah prayer. And also because I'm recovering from a fatal injury. Okay. Yeah, without my Kabbalah prayer, I can't even read Sanskrit. That's all I'll say. I can't chant, I can't do anything. So, therefore, I'm a Jewish Kabbalist first, and then everything else. And I say it because, everything that I do, including religion, is for my own survival. It's not even to help others. I deluded myself thinking that, I'm doing this for the world. Well, I'm doing this for me first. The world will respond once I help myself fully. You don't change the world like Napoleon. You don't go around conquering things. You conquer yourself first, and then the world follows. In the Yoga Sutras, it says, when the king bee moves, all the other bees follow. So, when you, the God in you, does a good thing to you, and then the world follows, and you don't have to. There's no convincing involved. There's no conquering involved. You just, it's non-violence. It's ahimsa. You don't force people to do anything. I don't force people. I think in my past life, directly or indirectly try to force people to do, or influence them to do things, and that's not the way. Okay. Shri Agni. Namaste. Namaste. So what I'm doing, what I was doing was, light up the incense and circle around the world, circle around the world. This is what happens when I don't do my Kabbalah prayer. I'm only saying this because there is right now like a visible disinclination towards mixing up Jewish Kabbalah with uh, the Hare Krishna mantra, and all I could say is this is Kali Yuga. This is not Satya Yuga. This is not even Dvapara Yuga. This is Kali Yuga, and which translate Kali Yuga translates. This is my own translation. It fits better than the traditional translation. It means the age of demon gods. They're not just demons. Demons are different things. Demons are what you see on the news, when crime happens. Yeah, so I circle around it 7 times or maybe 8 times. And if I feel really insecure, I circle it 10 times. And it's part of the invocation you're calling. So, I'm not, as a Jewish Kabbalist, I'm not supposed to use idols, but if it seems advantageous to me and not putting it on others, some might call it a blasphemy, but I will even use an idol it's because I need to heal myself. It's religion for men, not men for the religion. God doesn't need anything from you. And if anybody has told you otherwise, the God in them is not godly enough, if you know what I mean. Religion is supposed to be practical. It's supposed to be healing. His religion is supposed to be therapeutic, unless God, appears in physical form in front of you and says, "You must suffer for this while in this form," which happened. But as long as you don't hear that, you don't have that happen to you. Don't torture yourself with religion. Religion is supposed to be beneficial to you, and that's like an unspoken thing. That's an unspoken reward for having believed in a deity or a god, So, all right, there will be no more delay. I'm probably gonna use nicotine a lot more because I'm starting to be more like myself on my streams, on my own channel. It's like, you should do this or that, and it's like I'm not on another person's channel. This is my channel. I'm right now I'm practicing being myself. It's gonna take a little while. I don't know how long, but once I'm myself, I wouldn't care what anybody thinks. So, yeah, nicotine. Okay. So this prayer is called 42 Names of God. God has many, many, many names, like thousands of names, or at least 1,000 names. Because he's why? Because he's God. And another reason why Judaism doesn't promote idol worship is because God does not exist in physical form anymore. Krishna left the earth 5,000 years ago. That was his last godly form. Rama was another godly form, but there's Krishna is not here. Just like Yahusha, that's the real Jesus' real name, is not here yet. You know, so that's why God was used to be manifest on earth. Is not manifest anymore in physical form. That's what I mean. God exists in an unmanifested form. So God is everywhere. And that's from a Jewish perspective. Okay. Yeah. And if you're if you're of the Sanatana Taima, or Hindu, all the gods sort of, they didn't die, but the effulgence of all the gods started passing away from 5,000 years ago when Krishna left the earth. Because believe it or not, Krishna was sustaining all the gods. So Ganesha, that's a proper pronunciation for Ganesha. Ganesha is less potent now than 5,000 years ago when Krishna was around, or that was the last time that Vishnu was around in the godly form. And guys have to take a rest after, because Satya Yuga is like millions of years. And then you got, I forget, the second Yuga, which is another long years. And then you got the Dvapara Yuga. So during Kali Yuga, God rests in physical form. God is still here, but he's not walking around. So he's in his unmanifest form, which means he's everywhere. God is everywhere nowadays. I hope I'm not blaspheming. Namaste. Namaste. Ana bekoak getulat yemineka tatiri gerura. That was a line for Sunday, and today's Sunday, so we're gonna, and this is what I do, or I've been told to do, which is recite the 42 names until you get to either the angel of the month, which is Saturday right now, and let me just quickly double check here. So the month of Tammuz ends today. Tomorrow is Av. So Av has a different angel protecting it than Tammuz. So today is the last day for Tammuz. Tammuz is on Saturday. So I recite the 42 names until I get to either the month of the angel first, or the day of the angel first. And if it coincides, then you look up the day of the angel of the day. Sorry, day of the angel, the angels of the day first, and then you go to the angel of the month. And that's in case when it coincides. So on Saturdays, since the angel for Tammuz is on Saturday, I look up the angels of Saturday first, and then go to the angel of the month. So right now it's Sunday, so I stopped reading at the first line, which is Sunday. The first line represents Sunday. And then you go to and what I do is I scan the letters themselves, when you see it, the contact with the, with the eyes, with the word, activates the angels. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah. Namaste. Namaste has many meanings. One meaning I would suggest is, I pay respects to you. I pay respects to you. Okay. Maybe in the future I'll make a better pictures of the book. Some of it is a little fuzzy, but I'm not too healthy enough to be diligent, at least at the moment. Things will change, I hope for the better, but there may be ups and downs. 까벨르 리나트 아메카 사그베누 다하레누 노라 나 기보르 도르쉐이 이후다카 게바바트 쇼무라무 바르케무 다하레무 라카메이 지드카테카 다미드 고무라무 카시는 가토슈 베로브 두베카 나헬 아다테카 야키드 게에 레 아메카 베네 조크레이 게두샤테카 샤바테누 가벨르 우시마 자아카테누 요데아 다알루모트. So the way I read it is, and this is all taught to me through the book. The book explains everything. The way I read it is, you read the first two, and there's a first two, and then there's a little pause, and then the next two, and then there's a little pause, and then the next two. Do it in pairs of threes. Yeah. And then once you finish a line, you take a longer pause and continue. Now, like I mentioned before, Tammuz is on Saturday, or so I stopped that Saturday because there's another line which is read silently. You'll get it better if you watch tomorrow, because tomorrow is the month of Av. Av is on line 4, which is Wednesday. So Av rules on Wednesdays, but his Av is on Wednesday, not rules. He rules the month. Okay. I have my music on a really low right now, but I'm still afraid that YouTube or Twitch is gonna pick it up. But I can't do anything without Baroque music. I don't know what music people listen to nowadays. Probably pop music for most people. Yeah. And it sucks when you don't have music and when you're, trying to survive. It's like you need some sort of something. Okay. Tammuz. Sorry. See, I forgot to say Namaste. Now, I'm not the most pious person. I'm Mr. Pig, for God's sake. So I should have explained what I'm doing before I did it, but I'll try to quickly go over what I'm doing before I do it on every video. Not like long explanation, but like really short. Basically, I imagine the letters. So it's the line 7. I don't know if you can see it. Line 7, Tammuz. I imagine the letters in its original form hanging above my head, healing me or uh, protecting me. And I meditate on that for a while, and then I turn the letters into white. That's why I said the original form. So then, after that meditation, I turn the letters into white and hang them over my head, as before, same thing as before, and then meditate on that for a while. And you turn it into white letters because it's more powerful, but it's easier to start with the original. And so you have the protection of the angel of the month when you do that. And if you ask me, it seems to work. I'm still here, And like I said, I can't do anything unless I finish my Kabbalah prayer. Yeah. So I'll explain what I'm doing now. Let me just pay respects. Namaste. It's called Tikukun Hanepeshi. Tikukun Hanepeshi. It's at least 4,000 years old as far as I'm concerned. If you're a Christian, it literally means laying on of hands. People do all kinds of they make stuff up because they don't know what laying of hands means. This, what you're looking at now, this is the genuine version of laying on of hands. Laying on of hands means laying on of hands to heal. And it's been practiced for 4,000 years, at least. Probably more. But it's ancient. It's not a modern thing. It's not something that I'm making up. It's been around for longer than some of your first ancestors. Okay. You guide all the body parts. It tells you what the body parts are. The book tells you more specifically which body parts, like skull, for example. I'll just do that. I'll just read that one, and then you have an idea. So it's back of the neck or base of the head, and/or. So skull means, that's what it means. And right brain, right eye, left eye, right ear, and you go over the organs. For me right now, I focus a little more on the parts that are damaged. There's an extensive damage, which, hence the reason why I can't speak normally at the moment. Hopefully it'll change in the future. I noticed that I talk better during Sabbath. So what does that tell you? Get that? So what I'm doing is first I scan the letters. It literally says Yahweh or Yahweh, which I think every Christians although Christians should know Yahweh. Yahweh. If you don't know what that means, why are you a Christian? So every pretty much everything says Yahweh. Have to Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. And Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. So that's you scan it, and then you imagine like bright light coming from your hand, destroying whatever darkness or element you have, and you don't just do that. You have to. I'll say emanate because I can't think of another word right now. Emanate. You give love and kindness to things around you. So it's destroying darkness, and then as an effect, it gives the love and kindness around you, and it's like give and take. So I'm healing myself and giving love and kindness to what's around me. It's like a cleaning process. Like by wiping the dust with your wet cloth, you're making the cloth dirty, so you have to wash it again, kind of thing. So you don't just heal yourself. You're emanating love and kindness, around you. You're dispersing the energy. You're converting darkness into positive energy. That's I'll probably explain it better next time. That this is the best I could do. Bear with me. It'll get better. I'm not the dumbest person in the world. I don't think. Get that? I already did that. Hokuma. Bina. And you do that for a few seconds. Don't over stress it. Don't say, oh, this pain didn't go away. I must focus on. No, there's always a tomorrow, and with practice, you get better and better, and that's why it's daily, because daily means it's practice. What is with practice? Practice makes perfection. So a few seconds should be good enough, and that's what the book says anyway. A few seconds. Yeah. Now, right eye. The left eye. Right ear. Left ear. Now the nose part, that's number 8. You have to turn it kind of facing towards you, because the letters are um, not upside down, but right side left. Um, yeah, and you hold that longer than the left nose, and that's what the book says. And the reason being, the right nose is invoking the incense. That's why I light up the incense, which is about to go down. And the smell of the incense is right nose, and the smoke of the incense is left nose. And right has a healing power, and smoke has left part. The right part represents the fragrance, the healing. The left part, which is a smoke part, represents destroying evil, or something like that. Don't quote me on it. I'm not making stuff up, but I'm not. I don't remember what I read, but I know what I'm doing. Okay, so I'll read you what. So the forces, the right nose is for the arousing the forces of mercy, which corresponds to fragrance through the right nostril. When you do your left nostril, now I'm just reading the book, you're now arousing the forces of smoke. When you unite fragrance and smoke, it becomes incense. It also says before that, make sure you hold your right hand over your right nostril for a few seconds longer than your left nostril. The Zohar says this spiritual incense actually removes the forces of death from your body, from the body. Visualize the forces of fragrance being mixed with smoke as you glide your hand over your right and left nostrils. Now take this incense and visualize it as rays of light that are removing death from your entire body as you continue on. So yeah, one thing that helps me is to breathe deeply and then go over my organs because I'm breathing in the incense. Yeah, okay, now the mouth. Okay. Now, right arm. Chesed. Gevurah. I should have mentioned this. You only use your right hand for Tikukun Hanefesh. You don't use your left hand. It's very much like the concept of Hinduism or Sanatana Taima. That's another name for Hinduism. You eat with your right, you wipe with your left. Sorry. Yeah, same concept. So you heal with your right hand. I don't kill with your left. I don't. I'm for non-violence, so I don't. I don't know what you do with your left hand in Judaism, but yeah, right hand for tikukun hanefesh. Okay, now body tifarat. Okay. Jid. Netzaka. That's right leg. Hodu. Yes, hodu. 말을 줬대. Okay. Thank you for watching this. It helps me. Small gods need fame. or true believers, about 500 to 1,000 of them. Big gods don't need anything. Baruch Shema Kavod Malkuto Leolama Ba'ed. Namaste. Yeah, I guess I'll start being more like myself as days go on. There's no point to doing the same thing, posting the same thing over and over. I have to do what I have to do. But it's doing the same thing over and over gets tiring. So I must do something else to make it more fun for me. I don't know about you, but I have to do what I have to do, and I felt like whatever I was doing was getting stagnant, or repetition is okay, but you know, repetition to the point of dictatorship, if that makes sense. Okay, so the next thing I do is I write the Hare Krishna mantra. So I'm gonna do this here. Let me change the camera. So write the mantra. So I'm gonna change that into this for now, and then I'll change to yoga because I'm not gonna chant. I'm gonna do the Ashtanga yoga first. Quick advice to people who are practicing yoga, or I call it the yoga exercise, is the posture should be easy and comfortable. Otherwise, you can't breathe properly. So you're forcing yourself to breathe. That's a form of torture. Yoga is not. Yoga is ahimsa. So I don't know what you've been taught, but I'm quoting the sutra here. The sutra is itself is 10,000 years old. The commentary on it is 5,000. So 10,000-year-old comment sutra says posture should be easy and comfortable. Why? Because you need to breathe properly. So don't overstretch. And when I do yoga, I take 5 breaths per posture. The first 3 breaths is my easy and comfortable posture. The easiest, the most comfortable of that posture. Yoga Sutra says a natural posture does not produce yoga, but all the yoga postures are not natural postures. They're not the postures you do in everyday life. In an everyday life, the postures are all unnatural. So you must take the most comfortable way to produce that posture. So I do that for the first 3 breaths. The next 2 breaths, I stretch my, I make my back straight because the back needs to be straight. So the first 3 breaths, the easiest and the most comfortable posture of that posture form, and the next 2 breaths I straighten my back and take 2 breaths, and at the end of the 5th breath I stretch. If you're of the Sanatana Taima, it should make sense to you, because a lot of times when people do the yoga exercise, they're sort of torturing themselves, and they're gaining happiness from it, which is that's not yoga, or that's not the yoga that I know of, which is 10,000 years old. So or at least go easy on yourself when you do yoga or the yoga exercise. That's my advice. do not torture yourself when you do yoga or the yoga exercise. I can't say yoga when I refer to the yoga exercise because I know what yoga is. Yoga has to do with the mind. And the exercise is just a part of it. I'll get into that more later, but there are 8 arms of yoga. Cleaning is also part of it, believe it or not. Non-violence is the foundation for yoga. So yeah, according to non-violence, you you definitely should not torture yourself when you do the yoga exercise. So yeah, once again, the first 3 breaths is my most comfortable posture of that posture. And the next 2 breaths, I straighten my back and take 2 breaths. And then at the end of the 5th breath, I stretch as much as it feels good. When you stretch, it should feel good. So, the 5 breaths are kind of preparing me to stretch that much. And as an effect, that makes your body more rubber-like. If you've seen, if you're into anime, if you've seen, what is it? What's that character? One Piece. The One Piece character's name is Luffy. His body is very flexible. It's made of rubber, immortal rubber, invincible rubber, and that's how your body becomes over time. Once you practice it the way I just described, there should be no torturing involved in performing the yoga exercise. Yeah. Okay. Nicotine, and then I'm gonna write out the mantra, and then go into Ashtanga yoga. And yes, I'm starting to realize that this is my channel, not someone else's channel, and there's no director telling me what to do, which is kind of new to me. I'll get used to it. Nicotine. My advice, if you're using nicotine, as a form of medicine, which is why I'm doing it. Smoking cigarettes is the smoke itself is bad for the lungs. That's why people produce phlegms. With this, the advantage is you don't produce any phlegms. You don't have to. Who's that popular girl's name? Hatwak. Haktwa. You don't have to do that if you vape nicotine. That's why I don't smoke. I vape nicotine because it doesn't produce any phlegm in me. Okay. And as I mentioned many times before, all drugs are medicine. All medicine is temporary. They're not forever, even if you like it to be. There's a time for everything. There will be a time when I don't do this in the future. But I don't even like saying that. That's paying disrespect to the medicine, So, Namaste. Thank you, medicine. Thank you. My phone, I dropped it. This is a funny story. I dropped it like a few days ago, and it stopped working properly. And if you know things about computers and cell phones, the download bit rate used to be like 350 beeps per second. After I dropped it, it went down to like 50 beeps per second. And today, right now, this is the last time. Today's the last time I'm gonna use this phone. And for some reason, the phone started working properly again. The phone has been really good to me. It's been with me, and it's been helping me for the last few years. And to me, it feels like the phone is expressing its gratitude, or because it's working fine again. I don't know why it's working fine again, but since it's the last time I'm gonna be using it, yeah, I even love phones. I even love inanimate objects. I love the computer that I had for 7-8 years. Once you're a perfected yogi, you see God in, okay, once you're near perfection, you see God in every soul, every living being. And once you're a perfected yogi, I'm not there yet, you see God in everything. And you start feeling pity for it. This phone is not gonna be with me anymore. And as I still don't know why it's working fine again. Like its download rate was 350 plus beeps per second again. And to me, it feels like the phone is paying its last respects to me. It's saying that it had a really good time with me. It's doing its best it can for the last time to be what it used to be before I dropped it a few days ago. I regret it. I regret what I did. And it seems like everything has a form of soul. I don't care what you believe, but everything is from God, and more specifically, everything is from Brahma. And Brahma, the grandfather, created everything, so everything is Brahma. And Brahma created everything from the not the command, but because Brahma was created by Vishnu. That's the father. It's also the Christian father. The father created grandfather. The grandfather created everything, and so the grandfather has more love than any other being on the planet. It's more the grandfather is more humble than any other being on the planet. So I have no choice but to feel sorry for my phone, which I'm gonna be using it for the last time. Yeah, its download beep was 350 beeps per second. Again, I'm gonna see if it's fixed its lens too. The one of the lenses damaged from my from my dropping it. It's like, why? But yeah, everything is made of love. Even inanimate objects are made of love. I don't know what it means fully yet, but I'm gonna really miss this phone. Yeah, I need nicotine. Namaste, thank you, phone. I'm gonna pay more respects when I turn this phone off. But I don't wanna do that on camera. So yeah, for the last time, the phone is trying to be at its best again, or be at its best working condition again. This is really sad. So let's see if the lenses work again properly. So I'm gonna switch to a 3 times zoom lens. No, the phone that I'm using is iPhone 14 Pro. No, it seems to be the same. Hasn't fixed that part. Let's see here. So I'm gonna switch back to the normal lens because the three times zoom lens is damaged a little, so it can't focus. Yeah. I mean, could still make it out, but it's fuzzy. I don't like fuzzy. So yeah, last time I'll be using this phone. So if I could make it more easy for you to read, you could read what I'm writing. use the 3x zoom again. I think it's trying to focus. Okay, so I'll be using the 3x lens anyway, even though it's a little fuzzy, but I think it's trying. Mm. I don't know, maybe I'll try to move my camera when it's when you can't see it. Okay. Can you see what I'm writing? It's hard to write when you're checking the camera every time you write. Okay. Oh, and if you're, what is it? If you're chanting the Hare Krishna mantra like at least 16 times a day, my advice is to write it. Learn to write it in Sanskrit at least once. Not at least, once a day. Once a day is enough. If you're chanting 16 times or more of the mantra, that is. It helps the pronunciation. If you want to write more, that's up to you. I used to write every time I chanted one round. So, like, sometime in the past, I wrote it like 16 times, 16 rounds per what is it? The Maha count, the Greek count. Sorry, see, I didn't look at myself. Let me fix that a little bit here. And then sorry, I dropped the phone again. I guess It means I shouldn't feel so too much sorrow for the phone. It is the last time. And look, it's really focusing now. So yeah, for the last time, it's focusing again. It's the last time I'll be using this phone. I got a replacement. Same phone, but not exactly the same, you know. The different, um, I mean, it's the same iPhone 14 Pro, but it's not the same. It's not the same phone, if you know what I mean. If you're up the Sonata Taima, you know what I mean. Everything seems to have a soul or God in them. Everything is made of Brahma. And Brahma is the most loving and the most humble soul. Or God, I should say. Okay, sorry. It's now looking at my upper chest, which is not what I intended, but okay. So now we're gonna do yoga, and once again, when I do yoga, you could do however you want, but you know, um, I just take my advice. Your posture should be most easy and comfortable. Your posture should be easy and comfortable. Why? Because you need to breathe properly. That's why. Otherwise, the yoga exercise becomes a form of torture. There's no point to doing it. Might as well just work out, you know. But yoga is better than working out. All right. Okay, where was I? Oh, I forgot to read it. So that here's what I've written, and it says, Namaste, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So it looks a little slanted. I'll fix it. Okay. So that was the writing of the mantra, which I do. I do this every morning before I chant the Hare Krishna mantra. And right now I'm gonna do yoga first and then chant the mantra. I'm gonna do yoga first and then have lunch. I eat twice a day. I drink stuff in between for now, but eventually I plan to not take anything in between those two meals, but I can't do that right now. I'm trying to heal, not to torture myself. I don't need self-castigation. My injury is castigating enough, you know. Yeah. So now I'm gonna switch to yoga. There you go. That was quick. And I'll focus the camera. Well, I'll do that after I read the invocation. There's no point to it. Okay, so the invocation to Patanjali. That's I could read it from here, but I like to open up the actual photo. So that's on your computer screen. It should be big enough for you to read. I'm looking at OBS, the software that works with live streaming. So the letters are too small for me. Sanskrit should be like big letters, or at least, you know, you're comfortable enough to look at it. On the other hand, Hindi tends to be tinier than Sanskrit. They're the same letters, but people write it smaller. I'm trying to find, where is it? Here you go. So yeah, I'm opening up the exact same thing, but it's bigger letters on my screen so I could read it. Yeah, all the meaning is there. Even the pronunciation is there. Are they accurate? I don't know. I think so. I don't read the English. I read the direct Sanskrit. I don't. Yeah. Oh, the only pronunciation that I pronounce differently is Shamka Chakrasi. It's supposed to be Shangka, not Shamka. I think. 많은데 구루놈 자라노라 비는데 사는 달 시타 스바트마 수카바보테 니허시레야세 장은 갈리가 야마네 삼사라 할라 모하샴티아이 아바후 부르셔가람 샹카차크라시 다리너무 사스라 시라삼 시바탐 브라노마미 바탄잘리무 Okay, I'll wait for you guys to read the English part. And, I could help myself set up. Alright, I try to use a bigger lens, but it doesn't work, so... sorry for the messiness. Maybe I'll make it come closer. Okay. Let me just look at everything here. Still cuts off my head. So better. Okay. And that's the best I could do. I'm lazy. Alright, a little more nicotine vape and then the yoga exercise. Oh, and music seems to be important to my yoga exercise. Without it, I feel like I'm torturing myself. I've been tortured enough. If you've noticed, I've lost a little weight, which makes me happy. If you compare this to like a video from a month ago, the first one. Namaste. You know what? I forgot to read the Sanskrit descriptions. I'm gonna read that quickly. It'll take me like 2 minutes. Yeah, without reading the Sanskrit. I cannot do the postures properly as well. I'm not saying that you should read it every day, but maybe like once a week. But I need to read it every time I do it. I do it. I do yoga, the yoga exercise, once every 3 days. So maybe twice a week. I have to find it. Sorry. Yeah, with reading the Sanskrit, the posture is not as effective. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, here we go. I'm not gonna move my camera to focus on my face because I'm just gonna do this quickly. I forgot to do it, so. Ujjayi Pranoyama Mula Bananta Urduduyana Bananta. Once again, sorry, I connected to. I respect the space as much as as much as I can. Urduduyana Bananta Jalamtara Bananta Derishitui Angungu Shirtomatie Prumatie Nasagre Hasutagre Baishiva Ultiva Na Pichakre Padayoragre Samasatitihu Surya Namaskara Uttanasana Chaturanga Dhanandosana Ultiva Mukha Shivanasana Atomukha Shivanasana Padangushirtosana Padahasitasana Uttatita Trikonasana Namaste, sorry. Parivridita Trikonasana Uttatita Shivakonasana Parivridita Shivakonasana Prasarita Padottanasana Shibottanasana Uttatita Hasata Padangushirtosana Uttatita Shiva Sahita. Oh, sorry, I connected the words. Once more. Uttatita Shiva Sahita Alta Badata Badamut Alta 바드타 바드모드다나사나 우드카프루사나 비라파드라사나 다는두사나 파시지모드다나사나 볼보드다나사나 알타 바드타 바드마 파시지모드다나사나 드리양은가 무카이까 드리양은가 무카이까 바다 파시지모드다나사나 자누 실쇼사나 마리지아사나 나바사나, or it could also be Nabasana. I'm not sure which one is the more correct version. Puja Bidosana. So might as well be more, might as well pronounce both just to cover everything, you know. Dvipasana, Pakasana, Kakasana, Gulmasana, Subhuta Gulmasana, Dvipada Shilshosana, Galpa Binundosana, Kukukutrosana, Madhatakonosana. These are the ending sequences. I don't do them right now because I'm not trying to torture myself. I'm trying to heal. Badhata Padmasana, Yoga Mudrasana, Padmasana, Uttaputiha, Shavasana. Okay, sorry about that again. That's it. Nicotine vape. What I'm trying to say is that it's not something else. Namaste. One thing I should mention or correct myself is that I stretch on the out breath of the fifth breath. That's when I exhale on the fifth breath. That's when I start stretching. There's no stretching unless until the out breath or the exhalation of the fifth breath. When I start breathing out on the fifth breath, that's when I start stretching. Otherwise, there's no stretching involved. Once again, the stretch, when I stretch on the out breath of the fifth, the last breath, I said the end of the fifth breath. That's not exactly true, or it could, I'm correcting myself. It's, I stretch on the exhalation of the fifth breath. When I breathe out on the fifth, on the fifth breath, the final breath, when I breathe out, that's when I start stretching until the end of the breath. But yeah, there's no, otherwise there's no stretch. I don't stretch during yoga, except on the out breath of the fifth breath. I hope everyone understands what that means. Sorry about saying the end of the fifth breath. That doesn't convey the information very well. My apologies. Okay. Subhasiti prajapyaho paripalayam tam nyayana mayeno mahim mahishaho go brahmanoepyaho shupamasutu nityam lokaho samasataho sukhino papamtu shanatiho shanatiho shanatiho. Namaste. Namaste. So yeah, once again, there are 5 breaths in each for each posture in Ashtanga yoga, the yoga exercise yoga. The first 3 should be the posture should be easy and comfortable. The first 3 breaths. The next 2 breaths is sorry. So first 3 breaths is the easy and comfortable posture. The next 2 breaths is with your back straight, and yet at the end of not end the exhalation of the 5th breath. So when you exhale on the 5th breath, the final breath is when I stretch, and I stretch, and it should feel good when you stretch. Don't overstretch. Don't torture your body. So yeah, otherwise it's not yoga. Like a posture should be easy and comfortable. The first 3 breaths are easy and comfortable posture. The next 2 breaths is with your back straight. When your back is straight, you start healing, but that takes a lot of effort, and so that's why I don't do the whole posture with my back straight. The first 3 breaths should be your easy and comfortable posture. The second 2 breaths is with your back straight. Yet on the exhalation of your 5th breath, that's when you should start stretching. That's when you stretch, and stretch to the point of feeling good. If it's too much for you, that's not yoga. That's a form of violence to your own body. Self-castigation is needed, but it should not produce diseases and sickness or whatever. But yeah, stretch until you feel good. That's it. Okay, thank you. Namaste. Gonna start chanting the Hare Krishna mantra right after this. And thank you for tuning in, I guess. Sorry, I'm still getting used to. I'm starting to get used to the fact that this is my channel, not some director's channel or not somebody else's movie or a TV show. This is my own channel. So it's gonna take a little while, but once I'm myself, at least I'll be good to go. I'm still getting used to it. It's gonna take some time. Hopefully not too long. Okay. Thank you. Namaste.